Now yield 5 minutes to Ms. Wexton. Thank you for your patience from
Thank you very
Virginia.
much, Mr. Chairman. I was temporarily regretting my decision, but I think I made a good decision anyway. It's good to thank you all to the witnesses for coming and appearing before us today. It's been really, really informative, very fascinating stuff. Mr. Walker, I 100% agree with you. We need more people in the trades. Absolutely, we do. I mean, the world needs more electricians, the world needs more plumbers, and those folks do really well in their jobs. Try telling it to any of the parents in my district, though. But yeah, we definitely need more people in the trades. You know, one thing that was interesting to me in your opening remarks, you talked some about China and how they're taking over global dominance. But you would agree that they have certain characteristics. The PRC actually has more certain characteristics which allow them to create a strategic long-term plans for global dominance. Do they not? Things like their reliance on use of forced labor enforced by brutally repressive surveillance state. Things like government ownership of means of production. Things like disregard for international law in areas of intellectual property and property generally. Is that true?
Yeah, we don't want to be like China,
No.
but we need a plan, because if you don't have a plan, all you have is prayer. I'm for prayer, but we need prayer to plan.
Right. No, I don't disagree that we need a plan. It's just hard to do that when you think in terms of when your budget cycles or for your you know, presidential terms. You know, and everybody's planning for the next one. We here in Congress, I mean, we have to start over again every 2 years. So it makes it kind of hard for us. But yeah, I absolutely agree. We need a plan, and I don't know how we're going to get there, but I think it's a good thing to want to do and to work towards. Also, I'm fascinated by this discussion that you talked about when you and Alice Riverland went around the country and talked to people. Is that published somewhere where you have the results of that?
Yes, I can provide something for the committee if you want as well.
I would love to see
Yeah,
what the results.
yeah,
of
that was the Comeback America initiative, and I'm happy to provide something for the committee.
Thank you. That would be good to see. Last week, the Joint Economic Committee released a report highlighting the potential effects of a debt default on American families. According to their findings, if Republicans push our country up over the cliff in a misguided attempt to cut discretionary spending by 20% or more, benefits for 65 million Americans on Social Security and 18 million American veterans could instantly be disrupted. The average worker could see their retirement savings drop by $20,000. In Virginia, a typical new homeowner would see their monthly mortgage payment increase by $150, costing them an extra $54,000 over the life of the loan. That would happen instantaneously. It doesn't even account for the long-term effects. Dr. Zandi, after all the economic shocks we've been through over the past few years, can American families afford a default? And are there other ways for a typical family might feel the effects of a default?
Well, their benefits would be delayed or ultimately cut. There would be loss of job and unemployment. People would see their stock holdings and housing wealth decline, so they'd be less wealthy. Their general everyone's financial well-being would be significantly diminished.
How about those students who are here? Would they feel the effects of the default?
I suspect they would. I mean, their families would have a difficult time, I think, many of them making ends meet for sure. If it dragged on for any length of time. Again, hard to imagine once everyone sees exactly the implications of breaching the debt limit very quickly. I think people would reverse themselves and we'd increase the debt limit pretty quickly. But if it dragged on for any length of time, it would be, you know, I don't think it's hyperbole to say it would be cataclysmic.
And the last time we really came to the brink was in 2011. Would you confirm
It was.
that statement? And in 2011, we did ultimately, or Congress did ultimately do the right thing and you know, raise the limit, but it took a long time.
That was pretty scary.
It was pretty scary. And in fact, now Moody's did not downgrade the U.S. Creditworthiness, but Standard & Poor's did they not?
That's correct. They
That's the
reduced
first time ever in American history that happened, right?
Correct.
Now, do you think that the investment community is too confident that in the situation that you know that we're going to do the right thing and come together before August?
I worry that they are too confident. I suspect that will come back after July 4th break, and people will start to focus on that X date, which is, in my view, mid-August, and pressures will start to intensify pretty quickly, depending on the dynamics here in the House, particularly with regard to how things are going. But I think it will be very important for investors to send a signal to lawmakers that, hey, this is not a good idea. This is going to be a real problem, because unless you get that signal, you may not act.
Well, one thing we have going for us, Dr. Zandi, is that there is in August is usually our recess time, and I'm sure a lot of people have codels planned. So hopefully they won't want to miss out on their codels, and they want to come to a solution way before August 1st. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield back.
I thank the gentlelady from Virginia and now yield 5 minutes to Chuck Edwards from North Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, I think that hearing some of the myths